Okay, so it's streaming HD. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. I guess it goes to show you that this is really live, huh? Yeah, it's like we're not just like streaming a pre-recorded thing over here. Okay, you all hear me? Dude, where did we left off? I'm trying to find like my cutoff spot, but that first session or the first that part one is rendering right now by YouTube. So I'm like, oh, where did I leave off? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just resume. Okay, drink some water, take a little break, hang out with you here for about a second, and then we're gonna do a second. I'm not gonna usually. I mean, I just do all these, videos in just one take. I usually don't cut them. Since we got kicked out, we're gonna have to cut them. But I think, let's see if I can. Hey, yo, does this make sense to you? Like, you guys watching me, obviously you'll have access to this. By the way, the first lesson, if you missed the first session, it will be, you guys will get access to it. If you're a current, pro level member of the 4%, you guys will have access to this product. It'll be created, and you'll get access to it at no cost. So you're literally watching me like record it, and if you missed first session, stuff like this probably is not making too much sense to you. But if you've been with me on the first session here, is this stuff useful, helpful? Does that make sense? Do I confuse you? If you were somebody who purchased the product, right? You getting the information in a way that makes sense to you? Let me know. Since we got kicked out, we're gonna have to cut them. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna have to stitch the videos together. So I'm just gonna download them a little bit later on and stitch them together. But I'll try to make it as seamless as possible. Okay. Makes sense? Yes. Great stuff. Okay. Cool. So he cut off like 20 minutes. I've been talking for 20 minutes. Can you believe that? Rapper is important. Where did we leave off? Because I was talking. I mean, I was about to get into the ClickFunnels breakdown of the rapper. But it looks like, looking at the video, looks like we wrapped up. I had a whole bunch of stuff written out here. Okay. Let me see if I can see that first part, so I know where we left off. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to. Oh, okay. 2.1. It's live. Session 2 videos, history videos. Hold on a sec, everyone. Maybe I can find it. Maybe not. Creative Studio. Session 2. Let me see if it's gonna play. Maybe I can find it, maybe not. Creative Studio. All right, hey, welcome back to lesson number 2. All right, so this is level number 2 of mass promotion engineering. Of course. Okay, so I can play it. Let me see where we left off. Most people will not do. I become somebody who's going to be really difficult to replace. If I can pull this off, I need to become a person who is capable and has the strategies and has the skill sets and has the stamina and has the personality and everything that we talked about in the first session to be able to pull this vision off. Question for you. You watching me, watching myself. Hold on. I'll rewind about a minute so I know where I'm left off. Right? What are you doing every day to make yourself worthy and capable of pulling your big idea? You know what I mean? Think about it. Why do you exist? Why should anybody care? Answer those 2 questions for yourself as we go through the rest of this, okay? Make sense? Okay, let's see. Let me pull up a couple of screens here. Okay, so I was pulling up a couple of screens. Oh, my. All right, so... okay, all good, man. What you gonna do? Let's see.
Hello, everybody. I got a question for you. An important question.
Ooh.
let's see here. One sec here. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Okay. Full percent. Log in. Talk about training yourself on how to work smart, not hard. Okay, good. Bring up a couple of screens that I need here, and we'll be rocking and rolling here. All right. Haha, drink some more water. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Bring up a couple screens. That. All right, everybody. So I'm going to pretend you're not here, okay? And we're gonna go for it. All right. 3 microphone test. 1 1. All right, 3 2 1. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you, right, how I create this right here, having this in mind, right? How do I create my wrapper, which will be really important. I want to bring up and show you how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the following, okay? I'm selling this through my wrapper and offer. So if I was to, if I'm to create this, all right, and make it attractive, I need to understand I need to know, right, how to talk to this prospect in a way that he would understand, that would connect him to his ultimate outcome and desire, right? There's a surface level desire and there is also the core desire. So a lot of people think, well, my surface level desire is I want to make money. Okay, great, you can make money. But just like we talked about in the lesson 1 there, if you recall, where I kind of gave you a timeline, right, if you will, like a backtrack, for what you're doing there, we kind of, identified, all right. So if he wants to be here, what are some of the preceding steps that he would need to take, right? So I need to, make sure that he understands through all that, take him through the challenge. Okay, the challenge becomes a funnel in of itself, okay, that takes this person further and closer to his end destination and equips him with the products, the knowledge, the key core skill sets that he would need to become great at this, okay? Same thing for you. So if you're going through the challenge, I'm going to tell you, some things that you will need to go through and get, the tools and, the traffic, for example, now, learn how to become great at traffic generation, which is important. Okay, I'm going to do that through this wrapper here, which is my offer page, which is my sales page, if you will, and I'm going to drive traffic here that would pre-frame people for what's coming up here. Okay, that would give them, that would plant seeds for where they really want to be. So I want to talk to them in a certain way. So I need to understand a few things. I'm going to walk you through the creation of this letter, how I created it. Okay, but I need you to understand a couple things. So in order for me to be able to pull this off, okay. Here's what I need to do. Okay, I need to understand a few things. Okay, I need to understand I need to understand some strategies. One. Okay, so these are some of the things I need to be keeping in mind. Okay, strategy. Okay, I need to understand positioning. Okay, I'm going to include all these components in this letter as I'm talking to this person here. See, a lot of people think that, making money online is easy, and it's like, a lot of these gurus out there, they try to make it, sound so simple. It's no big deal, and, whatever. You just buy into the deal and or whatever, or buy this product, and the money is gonna magically show up. I'm here to tell you, you need to understand things that most of your competitors will not understand if you are to stand head and shoulders above your competition, okay? So every word on this page here will be relevant, okay? It will matter. So positioning is important. What else is important, okay? Invisible communication, okay? Invisible communication is important. Okay, subliminal messaging. I need to understand that. Okay, these are some of the things I need to include. Offer itself. Okay, seeds for here, and also what's happening here. Okay, seeds for future. Okay, expansion, I think. All right, imagery, okay, aesthetics is really important, okay, aesthetics is important. So all these components, you see what I'm talking about? Like all these things, I'll have to be mindful as I'm creating the page, okay? We need to be able to stand out, okay? We need to be able to stand out in the marketplace. If we lack these kind of things, okay, I'll be just like somebody else trying to compete in the noise out there, right? The better I am at these things, which I'm going to show you, and hopefully you'll get a lot of value from me showing you this kind of stuff, right? I will show you how I think about it, just tell you from, like what I'm doing now to structure this offer. And so you'll be watching me walking you through this page, all right, that I've created. And I will address, the reason I pointed it out for you, because we will address all these things, all these elements on the letter, okay? So when you do similar things for yourself, you don't have to be just like everybody else. You'll understand how to create your own compelling front-end wrappers, okay, for your offer. Okay, so I'm using a system called ClickFunnels to build this in, okay, the way that we're doing. And so I personally work on this. Again, everything matters. Every word, every picture, everything I put on that letter, that has to be a reason for it to be there, okay? So the way that I work my business is, obviously we have developers and I usually would build it myself. All right, that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm building it out myself. I'm using ClickFunnels. I'm going to take you into that page here in a moment, all right, show you how I built the page. And then what I would do is I would turn it over to our development team, all right, and they would basically turn it into, part of the 4% pages, structured, okay, pages. Okay, so here I'm going to bring up this on a screen. All right, I'm going to show you the end page. a final page, okay, and I'm going to show you how I created it, okay? So check this out. This right here is my variation 1, okay? Variation 1 of the page that I'm going to show you how I built, okay? So when you see this page, okay, it's talking about the 4% challenge here. I'll show you how I create the logos, all that stuff, okay? It's got a little bit some of the navigation stuff here, okay? It's got the start now at the top. I'll show you why and kind of walk you through this, okay? And then it's got the video. This is a placeholder for now, okay? A placeholder video for now. It's got the buttons. It's got the countdown. It's got the will display dynamic number of members. Okay, that's here. So this is how the page kind of looks like right now, okay? That I've built. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that I'm going to walk you through, okay? You're just going to scroll down. On the surface, it's like, well, it's no big deal, okay? No big deal, just a page, okay? To make it converting, okay, I'll walk you through my thought process and how I build it from scratch, okay? So this is not a template. This is not some kind of a, you know, thing that was just, you know, a placeholder that I just had to replace the text. I literally built it from scratch, okay? Now, question for you, would you like to know, would you like me to walk you through, yeah, everything? Because here's what I've done, okay, one sec here. I want to show you. Here's how I built this page, okay? I basically took, I want to bring this up. Okay, I'll show you. There you go. I'm going to do test MPE. Okay, see this right here? So basically what I've done is I went over here, and if you, we're going to have a link here for ClickFunnels. Okay, if you don't have it, I highly suggest that you play with it. Okay. So here's what I've done, okay? I went in here, and I selected a blank page, like this one. I'm not using any of the templates, okay? Selected a blank template, or a blank page, blank canvas. I went into editing, okay? And this is where I started. It started from here, okay? And then I built this page from scratch, okay? So how, I guess, it'll be beneficial. Part of my outcome here with this program, you know, mass promotion engineering, is to make sure that you understand some subtle things and some elements that are on this page that I put myself, okay, beyond just the copy. So I want to walk you through the copy, but I also want to make sure that you understand how and why I've done it and how I did it from scratch, okay? So without giving you full tutorial on ClickFunnels, okay, I'll give you the basics. So this page, basically what I did, okay, is I wanted to build it custom. I wanted to build it thinking, putting myself in my prospects or my potential customers' shoes, okay? What are their challenges? What are they, you know, focusing on? What are their, you know, big problems, and what are they looking for, and what's the conversation that's going on in their own head? And if I can address that through that page, okay? So immediately my thing was, okay, how can I grab attention? How can I stand out aesthetically, okay? So if you're, you know, writing notes down or whatever, like, I think in this day and age, somebody says, you know, you might say ugly stuff works better. You know what? Maybe, maybe not, you know. What I found is that when people see something that's nice, you know, that tends to get more attention, at least get people's attention, than something that's ugly, okay? So I don't really go for the concept of making ugly looking pages, right? I want to first and foremost immediately, because you got like 2 seconds, right? People make presuppose a decision or you know, kind of judge your stuff based on the first 2 seconds, literally, you know. So When they see my page, I want to immediately grab their attention with something, and that something will be imagery, okay? Think about it like this. Ask yourself, what are you looking for, right? What's the first thing that gets your attention? Are you reading the words, or is the first thing, if you see a nice image that's maybe a little bit weird looking, but maybe it's cool, like aesthetically nice, something that's really cool, that kind of gets your attention, at least for a second or a millisecond, right? So that's kind of what the first thing that I had in mind when building out the page. And so what I said is, I'm gonna get a background that's a little bit different. Again, this is version 1 here that I'm showing you. So I wanted to get a background, okay, this particular background, okay? But then at the same time, I wanted to start planting the seeds of what this is all about and start building a brand awareness, okay? So my wrapper is called the 4% Challenge, which is also the product, which is also my offer, okay? The 4% Challenge becomes the thing. Now, the challenge, how I come up with these things, okay? So to give you an example, okay? If you want to come up with, like, for example, whatever product you're promoting, okay, whatever this product is, all the stuff that I showed you previously about my pre-framers, okay, for the products that I was promoting earlier, all of those had a name for them, okay? So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you have a domain that's available, okay? So if I call this the 4%challenge.com, and that domain is taken by somebody else, and I do all this work putting that stuff in, right? And that domain is taken, and somebody else might just, you know, if I start building awareness, but I don't own the domain, if that is on my, you know, 4%.com/challenge, for example. See what I'm saying? We'll get a little technical here on you. And then somebody else owns the domain, they might not have the same offer, then I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of left out, right? I don't want to do that. So first and foremost, make sure that you have the name. Number 2, make sure you have the domain that's secured. Secure the domain for that offer that you're going to be putting out there, okay? That's first and foremost. And then you want to make sure you create a simple but attracting logo, okay? Attractive logo. So for me, I've got this logo created, and I'll put up, for this particular lesson here, what I'll do is I'll put up your resource links and contact links for people that have created some of this work for me, okay? Like the logo, the guy that created the logo for me. If you wanted to, you know, go talk to him, I'll put up his contact information there below, in the resources area of this section of this training. Also, what you can do is you can go to like 99designs.com, for example, and you can create a logo there. You can go to fiverr.com and you can create a logo there, okay? But you need to have a logo that's kind of, you know, that's not over the top, but something that's, you know, professionally done, gets attention, can be seen and recognized, you know, even on a small scale, okay? And also something that can be branded. That's very, very important thing for me, is I wanted to have a logo that can be branded, okay? So if I wanted to have, you know, to build a big giant brand out of it, I could do that. Make sense? Okay, so the first thing that would get people's attention is the background here. So for the background, you know, we could go, and initially I'll tell you this, here's how I did it. See this in ClickFunnels? Again, you can probably, you know, they have tutorials on how to do all this stuff. I'm not here to give you the ClickFunnels tutorial. I'm here to give you the strategy for creating something that's nice in ClickFunnels. So ClickFunnels operates on sections, right? Columns and containers, or containers and elements, I guess, right? So the green thingy here is the section. So this is like, you know, you can have different sections. Like, for example, this is the black, you know, picture here, or the dark picture is a section. This second thing is a section, okay? Then this is a section, and you see kind of how they have different backgrounds, right? So these are sections, and in ClickFunnels, this stuff is green. So initially what I did is I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a section, click on edit this, and it's going to be a full page. Can you all see this? Make this bigger. Let me make this bigger. Okay, so you can see this full screen, hopefully. Okay. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see this, yeah? Okay, so I can make this section, this green, if you notice, right? This green here. I want it to be full screen, or full page. This way, no matter what the computer screen is, this would go all the way across, right? And then initially, you know, I put, I think, the background to be a little bit, you know, something like this. you know, a little bit, shaded color. Okay, and then I would throw. I wanted to create like a menu navigation, right? So I'm thinking, okay, first of all, I'm going to put a logo here. You know, it's going to have 3 sections. I'm going to have a button here. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, so what I did is I made this section. Okay, and then for the let's see here. I don't want to. We've got rows. Okay, section, rows, and columns. Okay, this would be. Okay, this is a column row. Okay, so this would be removed, and then I would throw a 3-column row like this. See that right here? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a logo. This will be, you know, navigation tabs, and then this would be the button that I can put start button, okay, at the top. So what I've done is I just spaced them out like that, you know, just like this. In ClickFunnels, makes it easy. So this becomes a skeleton. You see what I'm saying? Like, some people don't know how to, again, this is not a, I'm just walking you through the breakdown right now, okay? Here is an editable version of it. Maybe you can see it better. Okay, you see this? Okay, and so what I did is I threw, you know, I put a logo here, which is an image. Okay, you add an element, that would be an image. Okay, and then you can download the image when you have it designed. Then this section would have been menu, okay, or navigation. It would be navigation stuff. See this right here? And then this element would be a button. Boom. A button. And then I would resize them. Okay. Okay, so aesthetically looking, okay, see how the button by default is like, you know, it goes into two rows here for the text, okay? I don't like that. So, you know, when you're creating something, make sure that your aesthetics are there, okay? I like, so why, let me kind of walk you through the button colors, what I'm thinking right now as I'm creating this, okay? So the buttons, there have been a lot of testing going on for the colors and stuff like that, right? So what I look at is what's successful, what's working, what are people conditioned to. So the biggest retailer, the biggest, you know, commerce site in the world is what? Amazon, right? So my thinking is like, okay, Amazon kind of creates this conditioning for colors, right? A lot of people shop Amazon. They're the biggest, world's probably biggest. Maybe Alibaba is, you know, is old. I think Alibaba might be even bigger. But at least here in the United States, Amazon is the biggest online retailer. So what I look at is I look for patterns. I look for companies that have already been somewhere, you know, before me, and what worked for them and what they're implementing in their business, right? So the colors, I just went with the Amazon button colors on purchases. Okay, like a purchase Amazon color, to kind of match that, okay? Again, that's really the reason for me picking these colors here. The reason for me picking the, structuring this whole flow, okay, is I'm thinking like my prospect would think. So if I get into the page and it says the challenge, right? And it would be a longer form kind of a page. So because I wanted the page to be compliant with like Facebook and Google and stuff like that, right? So it's not just a sales video on the page, but it's got content on it, right? If I was my own prospect, what would be the questions that I would ask myself, okay? So I would want to know, you know, give me some details about the program. So what is this about, okay? You have the logo, the name is kind of compelling. What is this about? The next logical thing, what I would think is, hey, how does this work, right? What are the details? What am I going to get out of it? Okay, and then FAQ is there for a reason, but also a strategic reason as well. Okay, and then if I wanted to start, I can start now, and it's always going to be, you know, easy access button. Okay, and then The flow kind of goes into the headline. Basically, the ultimate outcome for the challenge, okay, as I already mentioned, is for people to create the good life they want. Okay, so I'm talking to one person, right? Dare to create the good life you want, hence the challenge. Okay, we're challenging you to create the good life you want. Now, here is what I'm thinking right now. I mean, we might split test it with other headlines, but here is my first thought. Okay, people have a core desire, and then they have a surface level desire, right? So if somebody wants to have the good life, if this is a good life, and again, from lesson 1, there's a timeline, right? If somebody wants to have the good life as the end result, that's their core subconscious desire. That's what they really desire in their heart of hearts, right? Now, what they're saying to themselves, though, is a little bit different, okay? They're focusing on what they think that will get them the good life, right? Which is what? Money. Okay, so know your target market. Again, I'm talking to my target market, people that want to build businesses, people that we help inside the 4%, our customers, right, our members. These guys want to become successful first and foremost financially. Okay, that's what they want. They want to alleviate that pressure financially and all that, right? So I want to talk to them. I want to trigger their core desire here. Okay, create the good life you want. All right, but at the same time, I want to address their surface level desire, what they think they want initially, okay, which is learn how to go from 0 to 10,000, 100,000, and even $1 million. Now, this right here is a big claim, right? But what this video will do, and I'm going to walk you through this a little bit later on, okay, what this will do is it will diffuse this big claim. Okay? Does that make sense, everybody? Let's see, make sure that I'm actually 10,000, 100. Okay, we're good still. Okay? And then people can get started for just $1. So the way I'm going to do this challenge, okay, let me just kind of walk you through this, okay? The way that this challenge is structured, this is what I'm thinking right now, okay? I'm going to allow people, okay, to get started for a mere $1, okay, for 7 days. That's my, okay, for 7 days. All right, they'll get through the first 7 days of the challenge for just $1, okay? They will get $1 million ideas and education for that $1. So I want the program, what they're getting, which is also a funnel in of itself. You see what I'm saying here? So it's a funnel leading into a funnel, but this funnel is worth millions of dollars worth of education for people. So it's a product and a funnel wrap or integrated into a product that makes it seamless flow, right, for people, that has all these additional multiple income streams that this guy or for the products that we'll recommend, that this guy will need to get anyways, thus creating additional income streams for whoever's promoting this funnel. Okay? And so everything is wrapped and synergistic and symbiotic, okay? So we're going to allow people in for $1, which is, you know, the price point should never be an issue. The reason we wanted to charge $1 is so that we can, you know, we can kind of separate tire kickers from people who will actually pull out their credit card and pay at least $1. Because if somebody can pay at least $1, right, at least they have a credit card, right? At least they have demonstrated that they're a buyer, and a buyer is usually a buyer is a buyer, right? So it's a lot better person to put into this than somebody who can just create a free account with like a fake email or something, right? In 7 days, if they like it, which I know they will, okay, it's true, obviously, if you're going through the challenge right now, you see how it's done, how it's laid out. So they will be automatically rebuild, okay, a membership to the 4% membership fee. Original price that we set it is going to be $97 a month, okay, for them to go. But we're going to allow them in 7 days to remain a member for a discount at $49 a month, okay? Well, you say, Vic, why is it so low? And this is what, you know, some of these people might say. Now, this guy right here coming through this process, he would naturally think, well, if this is that good, why is this so low, right? And again, I wanted to make sure that I address it in my offer, in my planting the seeds for the future, and I address all these things, which I'm going to walk you through in just a minute, Okay, make sense so far? Okay, so if somebody gets in here for $49 or $1 leading to $49 rebill in 7 days, they can remain a member for as long as they want. Obviously, they can cancel it any time. But what I'm building right now is I'm building the 4% membership through the challenge that becomes a central core line product, okay, that recommends other necessary tools and products for this person to get here. But I'm doing it in a way that makes him, that connects with him emotionally, that connects with him logically, right? And so he can justify, he can back his emotion with logic. You know, if you only sell on emotion and don't back it up with logic, it's not going to work. And vice versa, right? People make emotion decisions. So if you just go with logic without emotion, it's not going to work. So a lot of these things that are here is there for emotion, but then in the copy, we need to address the logic as well, okay? So again, they can get it started for just $1. We give them a discount, okay? And we give them some bonuses. Arrows, all these things. So let me just kind of show you, I guess, maybe the structure that might help you, okay? How do I come up with a background image? Well, here is my site. Here is the site that I go a lot. Okay, let me pull this up here for you. Hold on. I don't want to be showing stuff I shouldn't be showing. Okay, check this out. Okay, where I get my images, okay, you can go to any, you know, stock image or whatever. I'll just tell you what I do, okay? I go to shutterstock.com, okay? Now, this is not a free site. You know, I think you have to pay whatever, like either a membership or per image or something like that. But this is where I get my stuff, okay? They got really cool images. And I can just search here for an image, okay, to get this. So you can get image from like Google, you know, images or whatever. Like I want my stuff to stand out, so I am willing, okay, I am willing to invest a little bit more money than my competition would, but to get good quality images. Now, what am I looking for in an image? Okay, so if the message is dare to create the good life you want, okay, I want my image. Okay, I don't want to be changing that. I want my image to represent something along the lines, right? So I've got like, I could be doing, you know, I could be doing the typical, you know, plain background or whatever, right? Or I can be doing paradise. Let's say if I go to paradise, if I just type paradise beach, it will give me all kinds of different images here, okay? So I can just download, and the reason I like Shutterstock is because, look, if I click on the image, it gives me a whole bunch of related images as well, okay? But this image is like giant, man, it's huge. Okay, I don't know, I gotta sign in for you to see this. But these are giant images, okay? Like 5,000 pixels by 3,000 pixels, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So it would fit any resolution, any computer screen, and they wouldn't be cut off, okay? Plus the images, the image quality is absolutely gorgeous, okay? So I have an account, I'm not gonna log into my account, I'll just show you. Okay, so that's part of the reason I like Shutterstock. So what I went for is I went for a darker image because the video is gonna be a lighter video. This is just a, you know, just a placeholder. So I wanted the video to pop, I wanted the button to pop, and I wanted the message to pop here, okay? So visually appealing, again, you know, there's people like at a concert, you know, just having a great time, lights, and just like a good, you know, just having a good time, right? Just having a good life. Nothing too specific here. I don't want to be distracting with like, you know, people's faces or whatever here on this, in this section. I want the message to be focused on, or their attention to be focused on the headline, you know, the first 2 seconds, what's above the fold, okay? The challenge stands out. You got the button, you got the logical flow here. And then I want the message to be focused, or the attention to be focused on the message in the video, which will autoplay, okay? And that's it, okay? Now, most people will scroll down. Okay, so what I did is, I'll show you. So what I did, you guys, is I just literally click funnels here. Okay, see this? It's got three rows here. A container with 3 rows. Okay, this is something called navigation. Okay, and over here I can literally link them out. Okay, I can name I can link out, I can adjust my, my margins. See, I can move it, see it's at 25 right now, I can move it down, I can move it top. That's the cool thing about ClickFunnels. Again, if you don't have it, we'll provide a link in the resource here. You'll be able to create yourself an account. But mastering ClickFunnels is going to be an important thing for you because you'll be able to create stuff that's custom, that's looking great, you got to understand how to do this. So there's a few things like traffic generation and then creating compelling offers that's appealing visually, right? And understanding the messaging, how to message your offer properly. It'll give you a tremendous edge over everybody else. So this is a simple concept here. This is just a text. This is video. Most people know how to do that. This is a button. Now here is the thing. Some people don't know how to do this kind of stuff. How do I put an arrow to this side? Well, I put a 3-box or a 3-column container here. Okay. Notice there is nothing on the left-hand side, and then I have the center container have the button. Okay, and then the right container have an image, and this particular image, okay, of an arrow, I think I got that one from Google Images, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let me take a look here. There's a couple things that I wanted to point out to you and address here. Hopefully this is going to make sense, right? So as an entrepreneur, I mean, just kind of think. Here is, one sec. Okay, so when I go to, I'll give you an example. When I go to Shutterstock. Okay, when I go to Shutterstock and I go, okay, red arrow left. Okay, see, I'll have a whole bunch of these arrows, okay, that I can pick and choose from. But every one of these have a background. See, this background is white or kind of shaded color. It's got the little shadow here. See what I'm saying? Now, if I just take this image with the background, okay, and throw it here, okay, it will look like ugly because it will have the white background with it. See what I'm saying? So I needed to find an image that would have no background so that I could place it on any background, which in this example here, I've got my, my image picture, okay, background, but I want the arrow to be without a background. So I went to Google, okay, arrow left. See, and you go to images here, all these will have a background, white background, so none of these will work. So what I did is I said arrow left PNG. Okay, PNG, it's a file name. And then you look for something like this, okay, to where it would have, usually with a PNG, again, some people might already know this, but some people might not know this. Okay, arrow, what if I just do red arrow PNG, okay? Like, for example, something like this. Okay, usually when there is like checkered background, it's like a PNG. So when you download it, okay, it would only download the arrow and not the, like if I wanted to have this, see, it's a PNG image, right? I can download it, and PNG means there is no background. So this square background you see, it's not going to be there. So it's just an arrow by itself. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, next thing is I wanted to show how many members that we would have in the challenge because this would be good for social proof. Now, again, what's my core outcome here? What's my core desire? Is to build massive this right here. Okay. So I'm envisioning that massive community right now. It hasn't launched yet. Okay. But when I'm building this, I want to make sure that I can account for it in the development state, right? So I can either, like my plan right now is to have this number be dynamically reflecting, okay? As new members are coming in, every refresh, it would show, okay, how many members are enrolled. See what I'm saying? So this is huge for social proof. Countdown timer, it would be set for like probably 20 or 30 minutes because we will give them, this is all about positioning and offer. I will talk to you a little bit later about this. okay? But it would be set for 20 or 30 minutes. It would, right now, I'll tell you this. This would be, this is not a hard expiration, okay? Now, it doesn't say like when timer gets to 0, you get, you lose whatever, right? It just says, claim your limited discount plus free bonuses before it's too late. Now, this is, this is perceived scarcity, right? We're not given any particulars here. So this timer, when it resets, okay, when it gets to 0, it will just stay at 0 for now. Does that make sense? It will just stay at 0 for now. Later on, we might actually make it so that there is a real scarcity, and we might say, you know what, when timer gets to 0, your discount will go from $49 to $97 original, and we would actually enforce that in the programming, right, so that people would see it. If they miss out for this, then the price would increase for that particular IP, which is a little technical stuff, okay? Now, this would serve as a social proof, and what I wanted to have here is this area I wanted to have stand out, okay? So notice it's a different section, okay? And then I played with different colors here. Aesthetically, I said, you know what, we've got the red here. You don't want to have too many colors. Usually, what I go for is like 2 or 3 main colors. One of them being predominant color, one of them being filler color, and then one, kind of, like this right here. My main colors here are white, dark, black, and red. Okay, and then like the button color, is a call to action color. Okay, so you don't want to have way too many colors because it's gonna be off. So I found this red to be congruent, right? It also stands out. It also catches people's attention. And then the text to be white, so that aesthetically, again, it's easy to read. People don't have to squint to read it. And then these numbers for social proof, I'm going for big here, so I wanted to have big numbers representing it because this is a community that we're building. Again, we're really focusing on on community. We're focusing on people, creating a movement here, okay, with people. Now, notice how I structure my layout, okay, is first and foremost, I just do it very, very simply. Okay, here's how I do it. I get myself this device right here, okay, just a notepad, and I get myself a pen, okay, and I'm just like, all right, I get my best ideas when I'm doing something physically, like, when you go for either a workout or a jog, or just get yourself, physically, do something physical, right? Like I get every single idea. There's a little side note here for you, but you might want to experiment with yourself. Every great idea that I've ever had, it came like after a workout. You know what I mean? Like gym. I don't know how that works, but 4% promotions. I mean, names, the 4% challenge. All these things, right? So I really believe that being fit physically and being active physically and having that physical energy will will kind of overflow to your creativity as well. So give it a shot, see if it works for you. But I literally just like this. Okay, so if I'm my own prospect, this is how the first step number 1 for me planning is like, if I'm my own prospect, thinking about the challenge, here's the outcome, here's what it's going to do for people, right? The questions that I would ask, and I just come up with 3 to 5 things. That's it, no more than 3 to 5 things. The main things, what is this about, right? How it's going to work, logical things. What are the details? What's the outcome? What am I getting from it? How is this different maybe? And then, is there any questions that I want to fill in, okay, that I can use for planting the seeds for the future? That's really it. And then how do I get started? Okay, so 5 things. I start with that. I put these things on paper, all right, and I throw them here first without writing any content yet. And then I just answer them, okay, based on my ultimate outcome and also what the program is about. But every single thing, as I'm going to walk you through, is designed as a sales piece, okay? So this headline here serves as a magnet. So I want them to read this, to get curious enough to scroll down a little bit, Okay, I want them to see this and get a little bit more curious to see this. And when they get here, this is where they get sucked into the details. Okay, so what is the challenge about? So naturally, people will ask, right? Like, okay, what is this all about? And so this is where this is the area where I wanted to spice up a little bit and make it a little bit more custom. So typically, what I would do here, or what people would do, is throw some kind of an image that's generic. What I did here, and I think it would be important for you to consider that as well for your stuff, like how can you represent whatever it is that you're representing in a way that would be attractive visually, because people are visual creatures, right? When when we see things, some people are not that visual, but some people more auditory. But for the most part, when we see good things, we tend to, it gets attention, right? So how can you represent your thing in a way that would be appealing? So you look at how Apple markets their products, right? Look at the big companies. You look at how they present their products. It can be a phone, but the way they present it with the close-ups and the attention to details, all that stuff is appealing, right? So that's important. You see how Nike promotes their shoes and commercials, right? How they do close-ups on athletes and things like that, and wearing their shoes. And so I take a lot of clues from industries outside of my industry, right? And especially companies that are doing, and spending billions and billions of dollars, okay? And how can I learn from those guys and apply it in my business, okay? So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to represent visually the outcome or the state that I want to put my prospect in, okay? This is a snapshot of the back office of the 4%. This is where they get access to the product, okay? That's exactly what it looks like. I literally just took a screenshot. I wanted to represent that it's a program, that it's online program, so hence there is a computer, but having a computer just by itself, it's not really, attractive, you know what I mean? We could have that. So we threw a tablet and we threw a phone representing that they can watch it on multiple devices, right? Same back office. We threw a little, earbuds here, for visual effect. And that was the image, okay? That was the image originally. So, I put that image up here and I'm like, okay, this is just a computer, right, with a back office. That's okay, I guess, but how can I represent it more visually? So I went to Shutterstock, okay, and again, put yourself in your prospect's shoes, or even for yourself, like what would get your attention? What would put you? I want people that are going through and looking at my stuff. I want them to connect with it emotionally. Apple, perfect example, right? Why do people buy Apple, man? This is emotional stuff. This is emotional sell. People are not buying Apple for logical reasons. People are not buying Harley Davidson and spending tons of money for logical reasons. People do not buy Rolls Royce, right, and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars for logical reasons. Like the product that you're selling, logically it's got to deliver whatever it delivers. But people should connect with it more on the emotional level. Okay, that's my thinking. That's what I'm trying to portray here. Okay, visually. So if I want to have, ultimately, again, this is all things kind of connect. This is a product. Product alone is not sexy. Training is not sexy, right? Training alone, some people might say it's boring, right? How can we make it interesting? How can we make it fun and attractive? Well, we do that with visual representations, okay? So this is like subliminally putting the person into a state of mind to where they feel good around that product or seeing that product, right? You get me so far? Does that make sense? Right? The good life, that's why that is important. The imagery and what I'm trying to project here in the message and all that stuff, talking about the product, I have my head here, okay? Not here. I have my head here. Hold on a sec here, I got it. Does that make sense? So that's why I went to Shutterstock and I'm like, okay, what would represent the good life, right? Ultimately. So the challenge, let's see, where are we at here? Okay, there you go. I'm gonna refresh this. There you go. Okay, so the challenge is the thing, right? Representing a good life is like peace and tranquility, right? And something that's like water and relaxing and like the good stuff, right? This is, and I tell you this, some people might be mountains, some people it might be like a field or something, you know. I just go for what I resonated with, okay? Different things might mean different, you know, differently to different people, okay? So I went out there and I found an image, just a background image, okay? Here's an example. I went to Shutterstock, right? And I found an image. I said desk. I said a computer on table. I don't remember what I thought, but let's just do it together. Right? Computer on table on the beach, something like this, right? So when you go to this image right here, and so see, you'll find a whole bunch of different images. So I found an image that I liked. Okay, so for example, this image would be not a bad one as well. Okay, see what I'm saying? So this is an image that I like with the background. Okay, that's not a bad one as well. So you got an image that you resonate with that I could represent, and then how do I design these things? Well, I'm not a designer, man. I don't know, right? So I just took a screenshot of the back office, okay, and I send it to my designer. Okay, which again, I'll put the contact for the same guy that did this stuff for me below, you know, in the resources section of this chapter, of this lesson. You can go to Fiverr, you can find a designer if you already, or maybe if you know how to do it yourself, you know. I mean, I don't have the time for, you know, to play with this stuff. I'm the idea guy, right? I need to understand the strategical thinking and stuff that's behind it. Now, this image was just an image. My designer created the computers and the tablets and you know, stacked them like this, with the earbuds, which I told him to put there, okay, just for the added little, you know, realness, you know, to make it more real. And then this image had no glass and no glasses, okay? So the designer got me a version with just the stuff here, the tablets, okay, on the table, and then this side was kind of empty. I looked at it, I'm like, we need to represent it with more realness, you know? So I said, what would make it more real? Well, throw a glass on it, you know, with like a drink, you know, and then maybe sunglasses, because after all, you're on the water, you're outside, you know, in the sun. Okay, just make it more real life like. Does that make sense? Again, this thing right here, it took me, right? It took me probably, I'll tell you, a good couple of days to really come up with this image. Okay, but again, it's custom made. Right? It's custom designed. There is this image, this particular image you will not find anywhere on the internet. Okay? Now the reason that I took 2 days to work on this image alone, 2 days at least, okay, going back and forth with designers and revisions, is because I know what I want to, the kind of seeds I want to start planting in my prospect's mind. Okay? We're talking subliminal messaging right here. This is the thing I'm talking about right here, okay? Subliminal messaging. Most people don't think about it, man. They just use a template. That's fine. It's going to get you 2% conversions, you know? Subliminal messaging, important. Man, I'm telling you, don't listen to people who say, well, just throw the thing together and just send traffic to it. You can, but you'll be like everybody else, okay? End result, operate from it. That's kind of like what the approach I'm taking here. So imagery, subliminal message kind of go together, okay? Puts people in a certain state. Now, next, okay, as you can see here, let's see if we can pull this up. Okay, so what is the challenge? What is the 4% challenge? So this first paragraph, okay, I don't want to get too deep into the copy, but this is like the elevator pitch. So if you, whatever it is you're selling, okay, can you explain it like 2 sentences in like 20 seconds, right? So basically, here is the summary of the challenge, right? The 4% challenge is the most comprehensive step-by-step video-guided daily coaching program, okay? Specifically designed to help you create a true and lasting breakthrough in business, marketing, results, income, and life. That's really, you know, a high-level overview of the challenge, okay? We have very limited time, very limited attention span here for the for the person watching this, right? So they read this, they're like, okay, but what does that make sense? And so, what does that mean? So then I get into, a little bit deeper explanation, and this is where I started tapping into their levels of desire, right? So this is their surface level desire. Imagine getting coached directly by an 8-figure inner entrepreneur on exactly how to go from 0 to your first 10,000, 100,000, or even 1 million, step by step, day by day, in a look over the shoulder format. Now, like this right here, I'm telling you, it's not just a compilation of words or sentences. Let me tell you why I put that sentence the way I put that sentence, okay? Knowing what their challenges are. Remember we talked about what's the big challenge that you're going to solve in the marketplace, right? For these guys, they're lacking clarity and direction. Okay, you're watching this right now, you're going through the challenge. If there is any way for you to let me know, maybe in the comments or Facebook group or something, right? Tell me, if you had, are you suffering from lack of direction, right? How do I do things? How do I go from 0 to this level to that level? How do I graduate and that kind of stuff, right? So I want to address that as early as possible, and I want to tap into his core level desire at the same time tapping into his or his surface level desire at the same time tapping into his core desire. See what I'm saying? So I'm working on 2 levels here. Okay, what he thinks he wants money, but ultimately he wants freedom, right? So if I can connect these 2, right? So you get the point here, right? And so I'm trying to address it here. Okay, go from 0 to your first 10,000, 100,000, or even 1 million in a step-by-step, day-by-day, look-over-the-shoulder format. Now, at this time, I am expecting them to be like, yeah, right, yeah, right. Okay, and then I wanted to diffuse this a little bit so that, I want to cover and I want to include people that might be already promoting something else, right? And I want to address it. So I said, hey, no matter what it is you're promoting or selling, if you dare to take the challenge, now notice how I made it italic, right? Dare to take the challenge. This is a subliminal command. If you know a little bit about neuro-linguistic programming, maybe a different topic for a different day. But your conscious mind doesn't pick it up, but your subconscious mind picks it up, okay? Dare to take the challenge. You will rise yourself head and shoulders above everybody else in your space, multiply your results, and become unstoppable. Okay? So naturally, again, think of the flow here, okay, when I'm presenting. Naturally, this person would be like, okay, I don't think it's, I don't think that, I don't know if I believe it yet, but, I'm curious, right? I'm curious enough to scroll a little bit more. Now, boom, here is where we get into how it works section. See what I'm saying? So I just addressed about, and then now I'm in how it works section. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you're watching this, if there is like a, there's comments here, I'm not sure how, we're going to put comments or not, obviously, because I'm recording this right now. Let me know, right, if this stuff makes sense to you, right? Now, I want to show you something here as well. Like when I build these sections, see, this is a section, green. See these green arrows? This is the editor of this page in ClickFunnels, okay? All right, this next section, it's a separate section. It's not just one big section. Why is it a separate section? Because I wanted each section has its own theme, okay? And it's got its own message and it's got its own outcome. Each section, okay, as I'm explaining, okay, I break it down, okay, into the big chunks, okay? What it is, how it works, details, outcome, all that stuff. Each of those chunks has a specific outcome. So if you're writing your letters, if you're writing your messages like, your offers or whatever, and you can certainly model what I'm showing you here, for whatever it is that you're promoting. But think about it like this. Instead of you getting overwhelmed and just kind of try to write all this, all this stuff, just try to answer the questions that the prospect might have by default in their mind. What is this about? Boom, here's what it is. How it works? Boom. But the outcome for how it works is I want to include, okay? I want to include positioning, okay, offer, subliminal communication here, imagery, seeds for the future, all this stuff. And I want to keep it simple and keep it in mind the attention span of the prospect, right? So here's my strategy. Again, I'm just telling you what I thought about when I created these, okay? This section, you notice it's got a background image, okay? How it works, okay? So first of all, I wanted to simplify the challenge and just tell people in a, 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, how it works and what it's really all about, okay? How does it work? Step number 1, thing number 1, create a 4% account, okay? You sign up now and get immediate, let me go back to the actual page here, okay, as you can see here. Thing number 1, sign up and get immediate access to the 4% pro level membership immediately. See what I'm doing here? Is I'm immediately planting the seed for the 4% pro level membership for the next 7 days for $1, which is the offer. Start your program and see for yourself, okay? Again, I'm trying to address a question that they might have in their mind, like, okay, why should I believe you, or why should I believe this, right? Okay? So I'm telling them, hey, see for yourself. If you love it and get results, which we're confident you will, you can remain a member for a low discounted rate of $49, or original $97, but $49 a month, current offer, right? As long as you'd like, and your price will not increase. Boom. So I have right here, right, before he got even any further, I'm trying to answer and also plant the seeds for the future, answer his questions and plant the seeds for the future at the same time, showing him the simplicity in the approach, right? Just create yourself an account. Here's what's going to happen. Here's the reason behind you creating the account and how it's going to work when you create an account. Next thing, okay, what do is log in and activate the challenge. Notice I didn't use the words like start the challenge, which I could use the word like every word when you do this kind of stuff. I'm trying to keep it simple, man. But this is deep stuff. I get it. It's not like words matter. You know what I mean? Words matter, but your clarity on how you want to lead them and how you want them to feel about certain things is even more important. You know what I mean? So instead of saying log in to the 4%, okay? Again, they're coming in for the challenge, so I say log in and activate the challenge, okay? And then these things here, as you can see, these little icons, okay? They are visuals, okay? So if I did not have them, okay, if I did not have these icons, which by the way, in ClickFunnels, this particular element is called image feature, okay? It's called image feature. Okay, and I had to play with an image because by default, see it's got image size here. By default, if it was at, no pixels for the image width, you see how it looks, right? It's kind of jammed into the text. Again, visually, that's why you have to, as an entrepreneur, you have to master your craft, man. Your competition would put stuff like this, if they even get here, So you have to understand what it is that you're doing. I tell my people, I say, master. Like if you're marketing, you got to master traffic. You've got to master ClickFunnels. You've got to master, split testing and conversion and tracking technologies. Just a handful of things, not a lot, But when you master, you can do things that's pretty cool. Now another thing, right, is like log in and activate. Step number 3: watch your daily training sessions. Complete your daily action steps. All these icons, I'm telling you, like if you have a blank page, right, and you're starting like this, see what I'm saying? Like if you're building a page like this, you literally go in and like, okay, I'm going to build, I'm going to throw, I'm going to do another section here. It's going to be full width. Okay, let's do that here. It's going to be full width. I'm going to throw one column. All right, I'm going to throw, let's say, a headline here. Okay. Maybe I got 2 windows open. Okay. So let's say if I say how it works. Okay. How it works. All right. Visually, maybe I want to throw a little divider. Okay, cool. See what I'm saying? So I got that, how it works. And then I need to throw this section here. Okay, which would be like, this actually, it would be another row with 2 columns. See that? And then each one of these columns will have this thing called feature image, or image feature, I think that's what it's called. Image feature, okay? Boom. See this? This is the raw. This is how I built it, okay? And then you make him like that, okay? So when you start like this and you have no background, it's like empty. See, when you look at the finished product, you're like, okay, yeah, it kind of makes sense, it looks good, okay? But when you build it, this is how you build it, right? So how would you represent step 1, okay, create account, all right? How would you represent step 2, okay, right here, throw that here, step 2, log in and activate, okay? So how would you do that? Okay, a nice visual representation might be good, okay? So I thought about it, and again, I'm like, okay, take the time. See, you don't, like, when people tell you out there on the internet, they're like, you know, it took me 30 seconds to put this together. You know what? I don't buy it. It doesn't take 30 seconds. You got to put thought into it, you know? So I took probably a couple of hours on that section alone, and I'm like, okay, log in. How would I want to position it so that it would represent that particular step with a single image that would make sense? It would flow into the design. It would be congruent with the overall design, right? And I went to Google.com, okay, and I did this, right? Google.com, and I went and searched for member sign up icon PNG, okay? And I went to images, and I'm looking for a PNG image. Why? Because I want to have a transparent background so there is no box around the guy's head, okay? See what I'm saying? Because I have a background image here that I wanted to have a specific background image. See what I'm saying? So I'm looking for all these things, and it takes time, man. Ladies, right? It takes time, and you got to find just the right one, okay? That would be a PNG that would not have the white background. You know, it would not be a square. It would look nice aesthetically, okay? So I thought about it. I'm like, okay, great. This looks good. So throw it in there. Log in and activate, right? So my keyword. So each one of these sections has a keyword. So this one is like account, right? Sign up, create account, boom, image representing that. This one, instead of login, I want to focus on something more that's, you know, more related to the challenge, which is the word activate here, okay? Activation, like power, lightning, you know, so I got this right here, you know, lightning, thunder icon, okay? Watch your daily training sessions. Again, same thing. Give it a little thought. I mean, it took time for me to come up with this. But I really think that, this is, this is the kind of stuff that, if it doesn't, like, people don't take the time to really, like, focus on these details, but these are the details that will put you, okay, or put people, obviously if you're part of the challenge, you've seen this, you're like, it looks good, you don't give it too much attention or whatever, don't think much about it, but the way how it made you feel when you were looking at it, just like, you go to, a big companies like for example, Apple, right? Again, I bring him as an example because this is the company that focuses on aesthetics, right? And it matters. Again, you look at the results, it matters. So take the time to understand. The reason I'm showing you all these things is to show you, and I guess maybe even give you a permission to not rush things when you create them, because if you want to do your best work, you've got to become great. If you just use a template, how easy is it to replace you? If you just like, okay, it's easy, right? And you say, well, you can outsource it to somebody else. Nobody else can explain this vision better than me, right? Nobody else can explain your vision, ultimately where you want your person to be at, than you, okay? Me outsourcing copywriting is not the best idea, because I want to be able to connect with this guy personally, See what I'm saying? Now you'd be like, Vic, this is too much stuff for me. Go through the challenge, right? If you're going through the challenge, go through the challenge to the end. You will learn a lot of what I'm telling you right now. These are the core elements: traffic, messaging, right? Communication, mastering some of the core skill sets that you need is a must for any entrepreneur. It cannot be outsourced. You know, you cannot rely on somebody else to tell and connect with your prospects. You cannot have somebody else do your push-ups for you, right? Now, let me tell you something else here. Notice the background image here, okay? It's got a couple, okay, on a yacht. It's subliminal. You can barely see it. You see it, okay? If you don't focus on it, you can barely see it. Again, your conscious mind does not pick this up naturally. It's all in the subconscious. Again, this is a little crazy. Maybe it might sound a little weird, but I'm telling you, this stuff matters, man. Like, each one of these sections, okay, has its own outcome. So create the 4% account. I'm already pre-framing them for the price. Okay, already telling them what's going on here, right? There's going to be 7 days, so there's no questions. But then again, log in and activate the challenge. Okay, every single one of these paragraphs serves a specific purpose, and that purpose is to move the prospect forward one more step. Okay, so for example, activate the challenge. You will get your private members login. Notice I say your private. Okay, people. Again, put them in the ownership position already, right? You get your own private login to the world-class 4% training center where you will activate the challenge, industry, and then again, the challenge. I want to sell further on the challenge idea, right? Industry's only step-by-step marketing domination and success training program. Summary, one-sentence summary of the challenge from a little bit of a different angle, okay? If this didn't hit home with them, okay, maybe this will hit. But they're the same thing talking about or explained in a different way. Okay? Does that make sense? You'll also be able to set up and activate your personal marketing machine with built-in and integrated multiple streams of income ready to get you paid. Okay? Further selling them on the idea of the challenge. Okay? Thing number 3, watch your daily sessions. Again, how do you represent this section with an image? Okay, videos, multiple videos. It took a little time to find it. You know, you had to dig for it and take the time. It's okay to take the time to build something that's good, that makes sense. You know, every day, starting immediately, you will have a private training session showing you specifically and exactly on what to do that day, right, to move you forward. Again, eliminating the big questions like, okay, how is this going to work? Or these training sessions are precise and delivered to you in bite-sized pieces, addressing the overwhelm and confusion, okay? Strategically designed to help you achieve maximum results fast, okay? Complete your daily steps, step number 4, okay? Each one of your daily steps comes with specific action steps, things you to focus on and do, so you're never overwhelmed or confused, okay? I'm using the words that they are using to describe their problem. See what I'm saying? I want to focus on when to do it in which order. Simply complete your action steps that day, keeping it very, very simple, and watch your business results in life transform daily. Okay, so again, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Each one of these sections has its own purpose, and an idea here is to drive them one step closer, okay, to the end goal, which is what? To get them to activate their account. Okay. None of these things should be misleading or inaccurate. Okay. Everything should be accurate, but it's presented in a way that it's a standalone by itself. So each one of these sections could be expanded as a sales piece, you know, if we wanted to, right? However, the big section here, the how it works section, okay, the master how it works section here, all right, it's got its own purpose, which is to create a certain feeling and a certain, put, you know, the viewer in a certain subconscious state of mind, subconsciously, right? Again, that background image there is by default. And again, how would you represent how it works? How would you think about it like this, okay? So if you're like here, and there is nothing, there is no background, and you're starting from blank, right? Again, train yourself to think in a way that's creative and that would, you know, and that would help you explain this, the good life, because again, all this subliminal communication is focused on this, not this, okay? The good life, the good life, the good life, the good life. Subconsciously, consciously you don't pick it up. Consciously you can, I mean, we can only focus on about 2 or 3 things at the most, consciously. Subconsciously, millions of things, okay? We don't even pick it up. But subconscious is more important than conscious. See what I'm saying? Consciously we justify, with conscious, but we lead with and kind of portray our vision subconsciously, right? Make sense? So what I wanted to have is like, okay, same thing. Take a little time and be like, okay, this is how it looks right now. What would be an image that I could use to represent all these 4 steps in one single image of how it works that would portray the ultimate outcome of the program, right? And so I went to Shutterstock, and I got this image here, okay? Made it, drop the opacity to be lower opacity, okay? And put it there. That make sense? Okay, so then further, we explain how this program is different from other programs, naturally addressing, their questions that they might have. If I tried it with other things, how is this different? Okay, I'm not going to read the copy to you here verbatim, but we address who they'll be learning from. Track record builds some credibility, this video here. So basically, we're just addressing the questions that they might have. Right? Check out what people like you are saying. So this is basically building credibility, right? And addressing how this program is different from other programs. Okay, it's talking about how most of what's out there on the internet is just a whole bunch of theory, taught by people who have never done it. Now, this is where we get into the program details here. Okay, and this is where we get into the sales, more of the logical stuff, okay? So program details. So again, we're talking about his big problem that they have to eliminate overwhelm and help you get results fast. The challenge is broken down into 3 levels, okay? Each level is built upon the previous one, okay? And you have a clear path to follow. And then I represent each level. See this? Each level has a picture. Again, I went to the designer, and each level visually I wanted to represent it with an image, okay? The $10,000 challenge, and here is what we're focusing on. Again, this is more logical now. Here's what you need. Okay, just starting from scratch. Our goal is to get you from where you are, even if it's 0. Okay, to get you and generate at least $10,000 in revenue. That's your challenge. We can't promise that, but this is a challenge. This is what you do. Okay, this is what you should be focused on. This is your target. Okay. What I found is giving people targets connects with them better, right? People want to have targets. So if you can put target before them and work towards it, okay? But then again, we explain it, right? Just like baking a yummy cake, in order to achieve this, there are certain things you must do in the right order, okay, to make this happen. And this is where most people get confused and overwhelmed. So further, see what I'm saying? It kind of addresses and tells them the reason why that they might have failed before because they got confused and overwhelmed because there is no programs out there that really teaches you how to do it right in the right order, okay? Luckily for you, you'll be learning exactly what they are and exactly what to do step by step. And so in level 1, we'll be focusing on the following key ingredients. And these bullet points, okay, are exactly what they'll be learning in this level, but they are designed and described in a way that connects with them emotionally, okay? I'm not gonna, man, goodness, time flies when you're having fun, right? So, what you can do is I'm gonna explain it to you, and if you're part of the challenge, or if you want to check out the challenge sales page itself, you'll be able to read it for yourself and just kind of dissect it, right? But I go into the bullet points, okay? Strategic product selection. You put up a bullet point and then explain what it is that it's going to do for them, not what it is, okay? That's what it is. It's strategic product selection. Now, what does this mean, okay, and what is it going to do for you? So how to find great products to sell that are in high demand in the marketplace. And again, okay, thinking logically here, putting yourself in your prospect's shoes. In my prospect's shoes, they might be saying like, well, what if I don't have the product? Boom, I want to address it. Even if you don't have the product, or you cannot create your own product, okay? You don't have to create your own product, but you need to know how to find one, okay? Strategic unique positioning in the marketplace. And all these bullet points here is what they're learning, but they're further explained in a way that connects with them more on the emotional level and justifies with logic, okay? Core skills and skill sets in marketing, okay? You must understand traffic generation, okay? Now, some of these things might be very, and this might sound, this might sound like super weird, but I'm telling you this, okay? The reason that, like for example here, traffic generation, right? This word, these two words are bolded, okay? Like consciously, they'll not pick it up. They'll be like, okay, yeah, traffic generation, I need to learn it. When you, in copy, and this is, we can have a different class on copywriting specifically, and maybe when you go through the challenge, higher levels when, we'll talk about it. But when you're doing copy, right, what you write and how you format your text, some of that stuff plays a big role on the subconscious, okay? So when you bold certain words, your subconscious looks and perceives those words a little bit differently, right? When you italize it, it perceives it a little bit differently as well. So what I'm trying to do here, right, is talking about core skill sets, knowing that we'll talk to them about traffic. We'll teach them some basic traffic techniques here in the challenge, right? But then there's no way I can teach them everything about traffic in just, in a dollar program, $49. There is no such thing as invest $49 and become a millionaire, right? I want them to get the core skill set that will help them get here. So I will be talking to him about the traffic product in the challenge program. So that thing right here, subconsciously, it kind of plants a seed. Now, it's not really significant, it's not super big or groundbreaking, right? But when you start stacking those up, okay, it adds up, right? See, one thing adds to another, okay? So subconsciously, we're kind of preparing them for something that is coming up in the challenge, which is a funnel of itself. Does that make sense? Okay? Multi-channel prospect acquisition. Okay, you will learn how to strategically build and grow a build list using the multi-channel prospect acquisition strategy. Okay, MCPA strategy. Again, what is this? This is my way of saying, that you will learn how to attract and build a list from different sources, from different channels. So I could say that, or I could just come up with a name. Okay, that's a little bit catchy. And then explain it, that would be, that would still be kind of interesting, okay? Customer acquisition, that means sales, okay? Multi-stream income structure, okay? So when you present, like when you read this or when you watch this, you'd be like, Vic, okay, man, you're not gonna, I want you to don't look at this like literally, look at this strategically, like whatever it is that you're selling, think about that from an angle of, first of all, realize it will take a little bit of time for you to really learn this. That's why if you're going through the challenge, stick to it to the end, okay? You will learn how to become the master at all these key skill sets, okay? Traffic generation, copywriting, presenting, community building, all these things, right? It might be a little bit too much for you right now as I'm explaining this, but at least it will start planting seeds for you, okay, of like some of the behind the scenes kind of stuff, what it takes. And it's okay for you to, when you feel bad about taking the time to build something, right, and then everybody else is screaming in your ear, well, it took me 30 minutes or 30 seconds to build this page up or whatever, took me 2 minutes to make, $2,000. What you hear out there on the internet, most of it is garbage. I'm here to tell you. If this was as easy as everybody makes it sound like out there, most people, everybody would be millionaires. Everybody. But because it takes certain thinking, right? It takes certain, amount of time invested and attention to these details, understanding some of these things, right? That's why when you learn and master these, that's why that's our focus here in 4%. That's our focus in the challenge. That's our focus with, the stuff that you will be presented in the challenge, is to help you understand these things so that you become, very difficult to replace. Your competition will not understand this. Most people will glance over this stuff and be like, yeah, makes sense. I mean, cool. Okay? But when they get to a page like this, and it's time for them to become independent, and they stare at a blank page, dude, where do you start? What do you do? Okay? What do you talk about? How do you structure it? Okay? How do you structure it? So hopefully this makes sense to you on why I'm taking the time right now, to really to show you these things, because this stuff matters. Okay? Development of your central hub, which is going to be an important thing. Okay? Again, we're telling them what's coming up in the challenge, because in the challenge, guess what? You probably have been through this process. If you've been through the challenge, we're going to be telling you to get E-stage, okay, which is your central hub. This is a must in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like, this is not something that's, I don't know, if I get to it, I get to it. For somebody to become independent, this will be a really, really, really important component to have, right, in their toolbox. You know what I'm saying? So start talking about it early, okay, planting those seeds early when they get with this, and then I explain to them, hey, here's what E-stage is about as I go through the challenge, as I probably already have to you, right, when if you're going through the challenge. It makes sense, and it makes people kind of eases off that resistance. Okay, why am I have to buy all these products? Because my goal is to help you get here. See what I'm saying? So I'm telling, and I'm trying to address as many of these as possible of what to expect in level 1, okay? Does that make sense? And they can get started here for $1, okay? Now, then we go to level 2 and explain what level 2 is all about, okay? So we further develop their skill sets, and our goal here is to 10x what we did in level 1, okay? And we're talking about the different skill sets. Now, here is a little spin that I did on this, okay? So the challenge, okay, the challenge has 3 levels. Level 1, 0 to 10K, level 2, 10K to 100K, level 3, 100K to $1 million. Basically 10X and 10X, okay? And, my initial thought was, you know what? We're going to offer everything, the whole enchilada. It's like a 12 to 18 month path, literally. Here's what to do. Here's, everything for the next 12 to 18 months. And as long as they just pay the membership fee of $49 to 4% or $97, whenever they get in, whatever the offer is, they would have continued access to that program, right, to the challenge, and continued learning. Now, that's $1 million. I mean, would you agree that this is like multi-million-dollar education that they're going to be getting, right? How to do all these things, how to set it up, how they can do it, how they can apply it to whatever it is that they're doing, right? It's $1 million education. Now, it's all about the offer, right? So my goal is to create, if you recall from a little bit ago, make sure my battery is still on here, is to create an irresistible offer, okay? So what I said is, I said this, I'm going to create myself, I'm going to give myself an opportunity to have enough leverage in the structure of the offer so that I can change, right, if I wanted to, but I can use that to my advantage right now as a special promotional deal. Okay, so here's basically what I did. Okay, I put a spin on it, and I said, hey, here's what you get in level 2. Okay, once you have successfully completed level 1, you'll be able and you're able to generate 10,000 consistently. Okay, and repeatedly, it's time for you to go to level 2. Again, I put them into the future tense. Okay, into the future, and have them kind of think of what's to come, okay? Our goal is to 10x, but you want to hear something. See, what I'm doing here is I'm writing like I'm talking to him, okay? I'm not trying to be super, super polished when it comes to like, talking to them. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm talking to them in text, in writing, like I am talking to them, like I'm talking to a buddy of mine. You know what I mean? I say, hey, would you like to hear something cool though? Right? Once you're at level 2, the amount of work that it is required for you to 10x your results will actually be a lot less, which is true, than what it took you to go from 0 to the first 10K. Does that make sense? Okay, so all we're doing is we're basically stacking up some key skill sets to multiply your results. And here's what they are, okay? Market leadership positioning. Here's what that means. Invisible influence and persuasion skill set development, okay? By the way, this is where, again, I'm tracking back into the future as I'm creating this program right now, okay? Mass promotion engineering. This particular program that you're going through, that you're watching, I don't know when you got it or how, at which, level you got it, if you're even going through the challenge or not. But this program would be more relevant for somebody who has graduated from level 1 of the challenge and goes to level 2, right? Why? Because this is a stepping stone and skill development upgrade, right? So the stuff I'm sharing you right now, this is not necessarily relevant for a complete beginner who just got started 3 seconds ago on the internet. Okay, they would not need this kind of stuff. They would not need to know this kind of stuff yet. Okay, there's no way for them to learn and master this kind of stuff. But if I can take somebody through the challenge as they progress through it, right, and they get to the end of the first level and they graduate to level 2, okay, there is additional skill sets that we'll need to add to them. Okay, so this is where we would present, for example, mass promotion engineering product. And if they don't have it, we would recommend that they buy it, right? So they can kind of see how I go about creating promotions and the stuff I'm talking about right now, right? Kind of weird for me because, I'm talking to you right now as if it's already happened, but I'm recording this prior to the fact, into the future. Kind of weird, okay? Makes sense, right? So again, invisible influence, persuasion, skill development, SPS, strategic product stacking, guess what? Okay, when they get, part of the 4% is to help people become great and have a great lifestyle. What you need is you need to improve your income. Leverage is critically important. Strategy, okay, is critically important. So what we're going to be doing, okay, is we're going to be introducing other partnerships that they can partner with, okay? Let's say if somebody is a member of the 4%, and they're following the challenge and they want to engage with our product line in the 4%, which is optional. But if they wanted to do that, I would basically walk them through how we would go about stacking up their income. Because somebody is going from 0 to 10K, we're not going to tell them that they need to have this product and be part of this company, and it's too much. Okay, people don't have the money. But if we can help people go from 0 to 10K and they have graduated level 1, they're at $10,000. We need to take them to $100,000, right? What do we need to do? We need to strategically stack products. 4%, okay? The challenge is a central point, but we have a marketplace. Being a 4%er, having a good life, meaning that our goal is to help you get to the good life in all the major key areas of your life. Financial is one thing, business is one thing, right? What about your health? See, being a 4%er or making a lot of money and being sick all the time is not really a good idea, right? So we will be, creating strategic partnerships with companies like, and by the time you're watching this, this may have already happened. For example, like in Magic, okay, this is a Kangen water, right? That I've been, see these bubbles here? I'm not sure if you can see the bubbles, but Kangen water, right, is a company, a product that I've been drinking for 4 or 5 years now. Okay, I can be pitching this product to people. Probably not going to get as much, response or as much result from it directly, because people would be like, "Dude, I'm having money issues right now, right? Health is like secondary to me." Most people like that, right? Even though they shouldn't be like that, but most people are like, health is secondary. I'm just gonna help me make money. I can figure out how to be happy. Now, so once I eliminate their first biggest challenge that they think they have, which is financial, help them get to $10,000. Now let's focus on, other important areas of life that are congruent to you having the good life, the ultimate outcome, right? So through the 4%, we're going to be introducing them in level 2, okay, and showing to them how they can align themselves and buy a product from, for example, if they are part of the 4% vision, strategic product stacking, okay? Hey, here is an additional product that you might want to consider, okay, or if you're promoting, get that, right? Because you'll be able to sell your product, and if people are going through, it's a system, it's going through your funnel. Would this make sense? If it would make sense, we would tell them to buy this product. Now they're already making money, right? So Do you think selling a product like the Kangen water machine or something that improves their lifestyle, ultimately helping them get here on a more of a bigger scale, right? It would make sense. See what I'm saying? And so by them adding that, if they're building out with us as a 4%, for example, then it would increase their income exponentially, among other things that we're doing in level 2. But now they don't have that financial pressure of not being able to do that, right? Now, if somebody is just watching this and going through the challenge and they're not, engaging with the 4% product line, which is totally fine, for example, right, on a promotional level of things, they would get the concepts and ideas and start to think about their own strategic product stacking, strategies of how they can do and kind of follow the model. See what I'm saying? So what I'm building the challenge to be about is visually showing them what we're doing, but at the same time, making it so that it's a timeless product, right, that could be applicable to anything at any time, right? Mass promotion strategies, custom sales and leverage creation. This is where ClickFunnels becomes a lot more relevant, okay? Planting seeds for total domination. This is where we start talking about what's coming up in level 3. Now, here's the little spin I'm doing here, okay? So I said, you know what, this stuff is like multi-million-dollar education. Literally, there is nothing like it on the internet anywhere, okay? $49 a month, yeah, this is an irresistible offer. And they can start for $1, come on, okay? Somebody should, the only way that somebody would not take this is if they're like completely either like a kid or like literally don't have a dollar or don't really understand or shouldn't be in business, okay? But I wanted to have an opportunity, okay? I wanted to have an opportunity or create myself an opportunity to have leverage in my offer. And so that leverage would be the offer positioning itself, okay? So level 1 and level 2. So what we could do, this gives me that ability. What we could do is we could say, you know what? When somebody gets to level 1 and they graduate level 1, now they're making money, okay? So we could make it so that for them to go to level 2, we would just give them an upsell to open up level 2 for $97 a month times 12 months. That would be $1,164, a one-time pay. That would be a logical and a good business decision on our part to do that if we wanted to do, okay? If we wanted to do that. See what I'm saying? So I will give myself that card and I could pull that at any time I want to, okay, later on. Now, this would not be applicable if you are already going through the challenge and you've got this offer, all right, you got yourself locked in, obviously you would have all 3 levels available to you. But let's say if we wanted to change it in the future, we already have that card to pull out, right? Make sense? So here, I'm giving them more, one more reason to start today, because I said, hey, if you start today, you'll also get level 2. That's what it's worth, 100% free. Okay, it's limited time, special bonus offer. I'm not putting exactly when this is going to expire or whatever. Normally, level 2 is presented as an optional upgrade offered to those graduated from level 1 for $1,164. When you register and start the challenge today, you will get level 2 included in the program at no extra cost. Okay, now you tell me if you think this is an irresistible offer, right? See what I'm saying? We reserve, and this gives me an ability to pull this card anytime I want, right? We reserve the right to pull or change this offer at any time without warning. So if I wanted to flip this up and actually enforce this offer, okay, it's already there. See what I'm saying? So I'm planting these seeds for the future. So of course, dude, who in the right frame of mind would not start for $1 and lock themselves in for $49 and save $1,100? For real, right? So then we go to level 3 and we talk about what it takes for them to 10x what they did in level 2. Okay, now we're getting serious. When you graduate to this level, you're really playing big and able to literally write your own check in life, create your own economy. You become a millionaire. Okay, this is a big deal. If you persevere, stick through. Again, I'm challenging them. Okay, through the first 2 levels and dare to go to the final level. Again, we're telling them this is not going to be the easiest walk in the park, okay? Get ready, because once you step through these doors, create a visual picture in their mind, right? Your life will never be the same again. This will be available to you, but only the brave, daring, and committed will experience it. What am I doing here? I'm preparing them for what's coming up, and I'm telling them, hey, it's not gonna be a walk in the park. If everybody, if it was easy walk in the park, everybody would be a millionaire, okay? It's not gonna be a walk in the park. I'm telling them what to expect. I'm not misleading them. I'm telling them what they would need to do and focus on, and I'm challenging them to stick through and persevere for the first 2 levels, just like I'm talking to you, right? And, if you're in the challenge. Okay, here is what we'll be doing in level 3, the Millionaires League. Okay, recurring revenue business. And so basically this level 3 is all about scaling, creating your own movement marketing campaigns, right? It's really like the stuff I'm talking to you about right now. It's really you becoming here, you getting here, and you having your own little thing going on if you wanted to do that, right? Or you can have your own little mini company within a bigger company promoting it. You're really creating your movement out there, right? You really have a lot. You become the influence. You become the voice. You have crowds of people listening and paying attention to you personally. Does that make sense? So that's what it's going to take for somebody to go to $1 million a year, right? Consistently. Category ownership initiatives, all that stuff. This is advanced level material, but before they get here, they have gone through level 1 and level 2, so they'll be ready, right? So somebody that sticks through this, they'll be ready for this deal, okay? Now, here's what this means, okay? Money and lifestyle becomes a byproduct at this level. And perhaps for the first time in your life, you will start to feel what it really like to experience total freedom and live life on your terms. What is this? This is an emotional statement. But it's true. See what I'm saying? If we had another 10 hours here, I would go and just literally dissect every sentence here for you, but we don't, so I'm going to move on. Okay? And again, I'm pulling that card and I'm saying, you know what? If somebody graduated level 2, what we could do is we could offer level 3 as an optional upgrade. Somebody's already at $100,000, okay? We would offer them to unlock level 3 for additional $2,364, okay? Which is $197 a month times 12, worth every penny. Do you think if somebody's making $100,000, if we help them get to $100,000, they would have an issue paying an extra $2,300 to unlock level 3? Absolutely not, right? Now, we're giving them an opportunity to lock themselves in now, right? And save 35 and get basic level 2 and level 3 included, all right, saving them $3,528 when they get themselves locked in right now, okay? Start for $1. Now, this becomes an irresistible offer. See what I'm saying? Irresistible offer. Does that make sense? So then we move on, right? And again, I'm giving them an opportunity to buy it. And notice how I said it in a second headline here in the button. Get instant access to your training, even if it's 2 a.m. Okay, I kind of like that. I saw somebody else using this line, and I personally found it to be cool and attractive. So I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna put it up there. Okay, so that basically, it's something extra. Again, one word, one sentence might tip that person over the top. You know what I mean? So what this can do for you, the outcome. Okay, this is direct. Hey, here is what it's gonna do for you. At the end of the day, here is where I'm tapping. What this is gonna do for you is not the features. It's not, hey, this car has a steering wheel and it's got the knobs and buttons, and this computer has a camera. This is not it. People don't care about that. What the ultimate outcome, this is what I want to talk to them about. This is their core desire. You know what I mean? This is their deep desire. That's where they want to be at. Okay? So let me just kind of walk you through this quickly. Plain and simple, this program is designed to help you control your life now and the future. Designed to give you full control of your life now and the future. Okay? It's not about features, it's about the big picture. Okay? Imagine knowing exactly how to create the life you always wanted without having to depend on anybody ever. Okay, what would that feel like, right? The 4% challenge can help you get clarity, certainty, okay? And each one of these becomes a selling piece, okay? You will know exactly how to build your business in a way that gets you results you really want. No more guesswork. Again, I'm addressing their challenges, their problems, right? No more confusion. A lot of people are confused. No more frustration. Finally, a clear path to follow. Boom. How would you represent? Again, if you're staring at a blank page like this, again, similar concept, represent that with an image, okay? So what we're talking about here is, like, understand communication, subliminal messages, because that picture in the background I want to have there for a reason to talk to their subconscious, and influence them subconsciously. I need to understand what kind of picture that I want to go for, right? So I want to go for lifestyle stuff. Okay? See what I'm saying? So clarity. Okay? Certainty. Two people just kind of chilling, feeling certain, right? Having control. You feel in control, knowing exactly how to create the life you really want and deserve for yourself and your family. Okay? Ask yourself, if money was never an issue, what kind of lifestyle would you have? Where would you go? What would you do, feel, experience? See that? Like, what am I doing here is I'm talking to them about their core level desire, not the surface level desire. Okay? Represented with a picture, confidence. Okay? Gone are the days where you lack confidence and feel small and insignificant because you can't get the results you want. I mean, you watching this right now, tell me how it makes you feel, right? Do you resonate with this message, right? When maybe you have felt small and insignificant because you wanted to do something, build your business or do something and you couldn't do it. It takes away from your self-confidence. By taking the challenge, you will become a lot more confident in yourself and your abilities to create the results you want, right? Just imagine the feeling of significance you will experience. Now, some of these things, again, they're strategically being pulled from, understanding human psychology, right? People, there's the 6 basic human needs, right? According to Tony Robbins, there's, certainty, right? Uncertainty, variety, there is contribution, significance, all these things that people, that people want, right? And so the challenge will allow them to get that, right? The power. Imagine feeling empowered, right? No longer will you have to depend on anybody else. So again, these are the things that can be expanded as standalone sales pieces, okay? But it also talks to them on a subconscious level. And then notice the background image, okay? It's got the subliminal communication message as well. What it can do for you, the outcome. Again, I'm linking. Again, this gonna go. I know this is gonna go over so many people that watch this right now. It's gonna go over their heads. They won't even give it attention. Okay, they would be like, okay, yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Looks good to me. Don't understand. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to link what I'm presenting, the messages, bypassing the product. I'm trying to talk to them about this stuff subconsciously. Does that make sense? The only way you do that is words are not as important as subliminal imagery. Okay, I'm just telling you. So that's the reason for me choosing that particular picture. Again, I use Shutterstock. Okay, and just made it very low opacity, so it doesn't have to be there. It doesn't distract with anything, but it's a cool, chill background of a blurred ocean, beach and the ocean, right? Just kind of makes it, to me at least, I just go by my personal, feeling on that. Puts me in a good state, just kind of cool. Okay, so they can start with $1 here as well. Call to action, frequently asked questions. Okay, now this is the important part. Now this part could be left out. Now what I wanted to do is because knowing this marketplace, right, and having done a few things before in this community, I know there's a lot of people that would be, call them haters, right? They exist everywhere, okay, everywhere. In fact, you can, if you don't have haters yet in your business, you're not doing things big enough. So what I wanted to do is knowing if I wanted to get here, and I wanted to have 10 million people here, I want to go big and massive, right? There will be people that will be rising up and they'll try to nitpick, okay? The offer, like what we're putting out there and saying, well, you know what? You're selling this thing for $1 and you're getting people in and then you're scamming them because you're going to be selling them additional products and things like this. You're not telling that up front, all right? See, I've ran offers before and did promotions before to where, I would not necessarily tell people what's coming up after. And then, in the training, we would present it to them. And some people didn't take it too well. Most of the time, it was okay. So what I've learned, right, over the years is that right now, transparent upfront marketing is the best practice, So that's why I wanted to include this FAQ session. And I wanted to say, you know what, I'm going to address some of the questions that people naturally will ask, okay, as they're going through the challenge. So for example, okay, I'm new and getting started, will this work for me? Okay, yeah, absolutely it's gonna work for you. I know it's gonna work for you. Okay, and I explain why it's gonna work for you. Okay, I tried other programs before and didn't seem to work. How is this different? Here's why it's different. Okay, most of the programs out there are garbage. We surveyed a lot of people, 96.5% of them saying they're making less than $1,000 a month. There is no way they can teach you how to become successful. Okay, and here's how it's different because it's a step-by-step, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it says I can get started for $1 for the first 7 days. How much will the program cost after that? And so I explained to them, again, kind of reinforcing the message, right, so that there is no surprises coming up later, right? 4% is $97, which is, you know, original price is what it's set for. However, when you join right now during the special promotion, and we can pull it off at any time, right, you'll be able to get started for just $1 a day, start the program and see for yourself. If you love it, which we know you will, you'll be locked in at a discounted $49 for as long as you stay a member. Okay, again, addressing that right in front. Well, I have to invest more money. This is going to be a big one. I know this is going to be a big one. Okay, especially without, you know, with offer like that, right? So will I have to invest more money as I go through the program? Yes, of course, right? So we're being upfront with them, and then I tell them why. See what I'm saying? I tell them why. This is not a lottery ticket or invest $1 to make millions type deal. This program takes you by the hand, okay? And then I explain to them that you will need to have some basic tools, okay? Because I know that in order for me to take this person from where they are, to take them through the path and ultimately help them get here, there is no way around them buying some very basic tools, right? And core products that they need to master if they really want to get here. Does that make sense? Traffic generation, e-stage, ClickMagic for tracking, ClickFunnels, which we recommend, okay? Some of the basic things. So I address that by answering that question or creating that question as one of the frequently asked questions, and then addressing their potential concern or potential question right up front, so nobody else can come back to me and say, well, you didn't tell me that I have to invest more stuff into more, you know, I have to buy more things once I start the program. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to those levels by just investing $1 or even $49. Okay? If this program is so good, why is the price low? Addressing that. And basically, we're just saying, hey, you know, if you want to pay more, we'll take your money. But here's why it's low, blah, blah, blah. And then we break it down how this is a promotion, and, you know, they can get additional bonuses of level 2 and level 3 included for free. But we could take it and we could change this at any time later for new people coming into the program. Okay, I don't have anything to promote at the moment. I know a lot of people will ask that question. Okay, so just kind of anticipate. You will know some of these questions when you know your market. You know, so whatever, you know, when you're building your offers, just kind of anticipate the most commonly asked questions. But again, each question is there for a reason, right? So I bring up the concern, or I create the concern that I know that would probably be a concern for them, or at some point, all right? And I just address it, you know, tackle it head on right there, and I diffuse or I remove any potential, you know, take away any potential bullets that they might use against me, you know, especially some of the people that might not like what we're doing here because of the competition or whatever, right? Or maybe we're taking their business. I don't have anything to, okay, so can I really stick with this program? And so here we're saying, you know, look, we don't know you, we don't know your commitment, dedication. We can't really legally guarantee any levels of success whatsoever. However, after working with thousands of people, all right, we can safely say this. Look, if you understand English language, if you're hungry for success, committed, can watch a training session and follow instructions, there is no reason why you would not be successful. Okay? Again, this is upfront truth. There's not many, like, just trying to be upfront with them, right? So, and then there is the close. What to do next? Okay? So this is what we're going to be deploying for the challenge. Again, you're watching this after the fact. What I will do, it's been a long session. See, I told you it's going to be a little bit longer. Hopefully, this stuff made sense to you, right? Hopefully, it made sense to you. Some of these things, you might want to watch it. What I'll do is I'll come back and I'll be recording lesson 3 or level 3 of this program, Mass Promotion Engineering. Once we deployed this, right? As you can see here, right? We talked about strategy, positioning, offer, invisible communication, subliminal messaging, imagery, planting seeds for the future, all that stuff. is wrapped around this thing. So model this. If you're promoting anything else, just model this. See how much you can get out of it for whatever it is that you're doing. One thing for sure, you will not create anything significant by trying to rush it, by trying to listen to gurus that tell you or make you feel, or make fun of you, if you take your time to build something good. Look, it takes time to build something good. It takes time. I mean, to create this page that I just showed you and walked you through, for me personally, I mean, I spent probably a good just 5 days, like not rushing it, right? I would write I would think, I do a lot of thinking. From an angle of a prospect, being on that side of the table. And then backtracks it, and then write it so that it would be appealing to you, So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to put some links and some resources here for this stuff that I mentioned, like the designer and some of the websites I mentioned here in the resources section of this particular module. And I will see you back in module number 3. And in that module, what we'll do is I'm going to come back. It's going to take me a little bit of time here. Obviously, if you watch it, it's probably already available to you if you got this product. But I'm going to deploy this. We're going to take a look at the feedback from the marketplace. We're going to see if we need to make any adjustments, right, and what the adjustments we make, and then I'm going to present it to you. So when you watch this, it might even look a little different or might have looked a little modified. So what I'm showing you now is the original version that we would go to market with, and then I'll tell you what market liked and what didn't like, okay, and how we go about making adjustments, okay? So look, with that said, I'm going to call this a rep. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Call this a wrap. That sounds funny. And I will see you back again here in lesson number 3, okay, coming up. And of course, if you already have it, you can go ahead and get right into it. But just realize there's going to be a time gap in between lesson 2 and lesson 3 as I record it for you right now. Okay? Appreciate you. Go for it. Make a decision to become great, to become irreplaceable. You know what I mean? Make a decision to invest in yourself. The most important investment is making yourself sharp in the area that's important. You know what I mean? Become irreplaceable in your marketplace. That's how you make a lot of money. Your income will be in direct proportion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and how difficult it will be to replace you. That's it. Okay? Your competition will not take the time to learn this kind of stuff. You're taking the time. Congratulations. You might want to watch these things over again, okay? And I'll see you in the next module. See ya.